Hello everyone, welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And today I'm going to be counting down the 5 best albums by Madonna. Now, I do not understand why it took me so long to get to this video, but honestly, only recently did I begin to truly admire the brilliance, the diversity, and the incredible talent that Madonna has. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick this list off with at number 5. And I will be diving into the ambiguity of my relationship with Madonna in a certain extent and my newly found admiration. And what better way to kick off both the list and that ambiguity as with Confessions on a Dance Floor. This is Madonna's 2005 album that, when it got released, I didn't really care for it. Well, there was that one song. That one song that ripped off ABBA. But it was pretty cool. But it ripped off ABBA. But it's so danceable. But it ripped off ABBA. Now, I studied at the Dutch Film Academy, and our teacher in mixing, sound design, he told us about the loudness war and the lack of dynamics on records. And to prove his point, he got this CD and read it out and showed us what he would call a sausage of dynamics. It's just one and he said, never mix it like Madonna. So with that in mind, Madonna ripping off ripping off ABBA with Hung Up, and the loudness thing, I never got to listen to this record until recently. There are a couple of things that changed. About 10 years ago, I got into a punk rock, hard rock band, and one of the musicians, the bass player actually, the leader of the Gallows Street band, perhaps people may know that, this band was not the Gallows Street band, but he suggested to play Hung Up. And we had this guitar player who was this shredding metal guitar player, and he just nailed it. If you're curious, you could take a look at a live recording of our band here. It's very amateurish, but if you're curious. And I started to love Hung Up even more and more, and recently I got this CD, and man, was Madonna ahead of her time. Some critics wrote that she got back to her 80s roots, but I think at the core this is danceable pop, this is dance pop, but it's completely different than the early stuff as her self-titled first album. This is so interestingly energetic. It is lovable, it's danceable, it has not a lot of layers, but it's not superficial. It's very well thought out. It feels as if you're going into a DJ set, and it's a record that is it's such an epic, great working, complete whole, you know. It's an album as a concept, basically, more than just a collection of songs. And it does raise the level of dance pop songs, especially for those days, 2005, to a whole new level. At number 5, Confessions on a Dance Floor. At number 4, I was so happy when about a year ago I picked up this Robert Ludwig master pressing of it. At number 4, Like a Virgin. Sorry, I promise you, I'm not gonna sing anymore in this video. But man, the title track is so good. I like the look on her face on this cover. I mean, there's this edge to it. She knows more than she allows you to see. And I mean, you can also hear that in the way she's singing it. There is this femme fatale attitude to it. There's this Marilyn Monroe, I'm wearing a Marilyn Monroe t-shirt, this Marilyn Monroe element there, but with a classical film noir element in there. This is very, very smart pop, though catchy and happy. I mean, the opening track, Material Girl. Whew, that is some incredible pop. And this record has great, incredible pop songs. This, to me, may be, perhaps together with the record on the third spot, her most 80s defining record. And without further ado, I should just continue to that third spot. I don't have it on vinyl. I've been listening to it on Spotify in the car over and over again, dancing and singing in the car. And I've been looking to get it on vinyl the last couple of weeks, and I thought this is one of those records that you always see everywhere, True Blue. And now, when you want to find it, I just can't seem to find it. So I'll keep looking because I want to play this record on vinyl. Taking a look at the track list here. This record has so many incredible songs, great hits, and I'm checking out. I have a little bit of a help here. Yeah, track list. Opening with "Papa Don't Preach." I promise not to sing. I'm so sorry. Great pop song, brilliantly written. I mean, the melody here, and just to remember, before I dove into the world of Madonna, I thought, sorry about that, I thought she was just a vocalist, but she is a writer. She wrote or co-wrote most of these songs, produced or co-produced all of these songs. Papa Don't Preach. I mean, try and write something as melodically catchy as Papa Don't Preach. Love that song. True Blue, great song as well. A lot of great songs here. For me, my favorite one, and that's the song that I've been having in my head the entirety of this week. La Isla Bonita. I just love that. I mean, rhythmically there's something going on, and then there's this almost staccato way of getting a melody done. It's not really staccato, but it's inventive. Love it. At number 3, True Blue. At number 2, this may actually be my most played Madonna album. And it took me quite long to find one. I've been looking all over Munich about 2 or 3 years ago to find one, and then I found a first European pressing. I believe this is the first pressing, actually, mastered by Bob Ludwig, and that sounds stunning. Produced by her, and the title track. Oh, not even the title track. I thought the title track was produced by her and Prince. Other songs were produced by her and Prince. Love song. But this one, Like a Prayer, masterpiece of pop. When the needle hits this album, and you hear the choir, the ooh, and when she slowly gets her own voice to the front, it's magic all around. It's one of those rare pop songs that has so many great melodies into one. I mean, the reference to ABBA with Hung Up is, well, in a certain way, very right here, because ABBA is one of those bands that all the ABBA hits, all of their hits, they contain 3 or 4 melodies other bands would have used over 3 or 4 different songs. So rich of melody. Like a Prayer has that ABBA level of writing, of getting melody in there. I think it's lyrically gorgeous. I love the ambiguity of what the song is actually about. But she adds this layer of holiness to it that I just love. At number 2, Like a Prayer. I'll take you there. Number 1. Well, what else then? Ray of Light. Also, a rather recent discovery for me. I had this ambiguous relationship with 80s, let's say 80s, 90s pop songs. Growing up in the 90s, being a late bloomer with regard to music. I started enjoying music when I was 14, and I loved Queen, but I just didn't really get the hold of 90s pop music. And putting this record on and recognizing so many incredible tunes, but also listening to it in a good quality CD. I mean, the entire dynamics, the texture of the sound, the vibe. She was in, I believe, sort of yoga or Buddhism or a certain spirituality, and usually when an artist gets into the spiritual phase, I'm not buying it. Only George Harrison made a good record in a spiritual phase, but there are moments when you think, cut off, George Harrison. I mean, too much spirituality, if you're not a spiritual person yourself or religious, it can kind of become nagging. Not with Madonna. You feel that she is searching and diving into a different emotional level. But it's mostly in the arrangements, in the instruments there, in the texture of the sound. I mean, lyrically, it works as good. No, I'm not going to say good. Brilliant pop. Ray of Light, in my opinion, is among the best dance pop. Can I say dance? Yeah. Among the best pop records ever. This is up there with 1989 by Taylor Swift, Thriller by Michael Jackson, Brad by Charlie XCX. This one is truly brilliant. Fresh, new. I mean, the title track, Ray of Light, is incredible. Frozen. I mean, the way that vocal takes over, the melody there, the sweet softness, but the layer as well. Man, Madonna was on fire here. Now, that is my top 5. I'm curious, do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.